Indeed, it arrived on March 20th, 2025. That means if your asylum has not been denied yet, if you have not yet been notified of your asylum denial resolution, you will not be able to benefit from the new regulations arraigos, period. A very unfortunate situation and in many cases extremely serious. Therefore, I am going to explain what you should do. Next. I am Juan Vasquez, Director of Legal in Spain, a firm specializing in immigration and Spanish nationality. And well, today I'm a bit sad about this news, although we already knew it was going to happen. We've been warning about it for a long time, but well, the date has arrived. Is it something bad? Yes, but at least it's over now. That hope is now dead. And now, well, we have to see what to do with everything completely clear, because what I'm telling you, no more waiting. Resolution of denial, which they notified you about, and keeping the hope of getting roots from the new regulation? No. So, what do you have left? Well, you have all the roots from the current regulation, which will be in effect until May 19th, 2025. That is to say, before that date, you will have to submit your application, meeting the requirements of the current immigration regulation, obviously speaking in terms of roots. If what you have is a partner, for example, it doesn't matter whether you do the process now or later. Because we are talking about the fact that having asylum does not affect these types of processes. It affects the processes that are done with roots or that are intended to be done with roots. So, for the umpteenth time, if as of the date you are watching this video, which is released on March 20th, 2025, your asylum or international protection application has not been denied, you can forget about the roots of the new regulation basically, because by May 20th, 2025, you will not have a firm denial resolution. You might have a denial resolution if it arrives in this period between March 20 and May 20th. You might have a denial resolution, but it will not be firm because remember, for it to be firm, at least 2 months must pass from the time you are notified. So it will not be firm. Therefore, you will not be meeting the requirements of the transitional provision. Fifth, therefore, you will not be able to take advantage of the roots of the new regulation. Now, if we go back to what to do, you still have the roots of the current regulation. Which roots make sense in your case as an applicant for international protection? Well, basically 2 routes, which are the route for training in case you have been in Spain. For at least 2 years, remember, you will be required to have some studies. We recommend that they be between 3 months and a maximum of 2 years. We know of applications that have been approved with shorter studies, but to be cautious and this authorization, the downside is that it will not allow you to work, although it already has significant advantages, such as counting towards nationality, allowing you to enter and leave Spain. And it can later be a prelude to a work authorization. If you get a job offer and modify it once you finish your studies, it is not perfect. We know that not allowing work is a huge obstacle because the vast majority of people who are in Spain and applied for asylum have some need. To work, no one is asking for this for fun. They need to work to support their family in Spain, their family in their countries of origin. So it is definitely not the best option, but a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. It is a real possibility. Now, and I tell you, if May 20th arrives, you can forget about the arraigos, and basically your options will be limited to a partner. In fact, you decide what to do, whether to take this, which is not perfect. It's ugly, it's horrible, but it serves a purpose, or you can stay in absolute limbo. Besides, with this option, you have a remote hope because it is a figure that evolves. It is a currently limited figure. But with the new regulations, its rights are expanded. So there is a remote possibility that we can change or that we can request the application of a principle of favorability. And the conditions of those authorizations granted under the current regulations are changed to the conditions granted by the new one, because in theory, the requirements are the same and the same goal is pursued. With this type of residency, residency for training, which is now called socio-formative residency, so it would be logical to extend those advantages of the socio-formative residency to all those who have residency for training if a request is made. It would be logical, but it is a remote hope. No one can claim that it will happen, but well, hope is the last thing to be lost. And in any case, even if it can't be done, it is still more attractive to at least have a residency authorization. If it doesn't allow working, then to simply be left with nothing. It's very important that you choose your studies well because many immigration offices will require you to then modify a job offer related to the studies you pursued. So don't choose studies just for the sake of it. Not only because it's your life plan, because it will be on your resume, because that can limit how you expand the rest of your life, but also because it is very important when it comes to obtaining the job offer. It has to be in something where you see yourself having the skills, with the ability to secure a job offer, and with that be able to make a modification. Now option 2, which is not as bad as the residency for training because it does allow working, but it requires you not 2 years in Spain, but 3 years in Spain, and it is the current social residency. The current social residency requires that 3 years and proving economic means in some way. What ways? Does it accept? Well, a job offer from a solvent employer. A business project with a solid foundation, meaning you need to have professional qualifications if necessary, you need to have administrative permits if required, and in any case, you need to have capital depending on the type of business. Okay, so we have a work contract, a business project, or a business plan, which means you are going to be self-employed. If you present with a work contract, they only give you authorization for employment as an employee. If you present with a business plan, they only give you authorization for self-employment. You have a third option, which is to present your own financial means, savings. It would have to be at least 600 euros per year, which would be 7,200 euros, or a first-degree relative who must be parents, children, or partner lives with you and is able to provide you with that same financial support. These last two options do not give you work authorization, they only give you residence authorization. The social rule is a very commonly used figure, but it is somewhat complicated. As you can see, it has many requirements, many documents, but as I said, it is much better. Going that route is better than simply reaching May 20th and ending up in limbo, because you will lose all your seniority, you won't be able to apply for routes, or, well, yes, in theory, yes. The thing is, you will lose all your seniority, so as soon as you are denied. And if you do not appeal the denial of asylum, then you will have to wait 2 more years in an irregular status to be able to consider routes. Whereas now, if you take these routes, which are not perfect, they are quite imperfect. But if you take them, now you already have your legal residence and you can look ahead with more peace of mind. Then to modify, or well, then what to do. What is a fact, a sad fact? Moreover, is that if today, March 20th, 2025, you do not have a notification of the denial of your asylum, you can forget about all the routes of the new regulation. So, just think about the current ones, the ones I have mentioned to you, route for training and social route. Any questions? In the pinned comment, you have a link. There you can schedule a consultation with me or a member of my team. Most of these consultations are free. We ourselves, based on your personal situation, would outline the best path towards your legal residency and eventually towards your separate nationality. We have a unique satisfaction guarantee according to which if you don't get your papers, if you don't obtain your nationality, then you don't pay us a cent. It applies under terms and conditions. I will explain it to you on the day of the consultation or someone from my team will, but basically it works that way. Any questions? If it's specific, we try to answer them all in the comments. If you put it there, if you don't schedule a consultation, the most I do of them are free. Thank you for your like, for your comment. Please share this information with anyone who might find it useful. And above all, thank you for subscribing, videos. Every day you stay informed about immigration and nationality in Spain, and you motivate us to continue. This effort to share information as clearly as possible. Thank you so much for watching us. See you next time.